Greetings, everyone. Thank you for stopping by our site to hear what we have to tell you about our resolutions for 2011 and beyond. We promise not to keep you here for very long.
January 2011. Time for us to launch a new service for independent retailers called storecheckup.com. While it's not exactly new, as we've been doing this for many years, but we ramped it up a notch or two to make it too good for you not to try. This is a service for small to mid-sized retail companies and also associations catering to these retailers. It is essentially targeted retail consulting that we offer to retailers to help them assess a new concept for brand new businesses or evaluate their current business performance as well as help with day-to-day issues. Call it store doctor, call it helpline for retailers, call it whatever you want. Essentially it is convenient, affordable, practical, relevant advice for retailers, whatever their need is. There are 4 packages that we will be offering at different prices. And the option to receive the consultation either in person or on the phone. All tips, ideas, and recommendations are recorded, documented in the form of an action plan, and of course come with a money-back guarantee if you're not satisfied. Give us a few more weeks and we will be up and running and you'll know more about it.
This January is also the time for us to share our best predictions of consumer retail trends for 2011 and beyond. And the title of the slide in the background seems to suggest when it comes to consumers, it is all about prices and getting the best deal possible. At least that's what we're led to believe. I'm sure Groupon, when I said that, came to mind. Although I have very, very strong reservations about Groupon. And also, for example, why would that company be valued at $6 billion? And a company which I believe has the potential of putting an end to retail as we know it. And unfortunately, a lot of retailers are trying to tag on to this whole Groupon discount experience. The question is, should they? The answer to that question and others can be found in our 2011 Trends presentation for retail and non-retail businesses. Basically helping you understand who is setting your customers' expectations so that then you are able to minimally meet those expectations, if not what is really required, exceed those expectations. And by the way, not by slashing prices, not by Groupon style, which probably would lead, by the way, to the end of your company as you know it, but rather by creating offerings and alternatives that are exciting, sustainable, and, by the way, profitable. In our keynote on the future, we will also talk about the fundamental changes and global shifts that recent economic meltdowns and other global occurrences have caused and the implications for retailers and their business models. And of course, we're going to have a close look at demographics and the ethnic shifts around the world, and in the U.S. in particular. To give you an example, do you know that 23 metro areas in the United States already have majority Hispanic populations? Time to start habla español? Maybe. Then we're going to dive deep into the discount world that we live in today and the psychological factors or reasons for consumers' lust for these low prices, these deals, these exclusive membership-only offers, and time-limited promotions. Ellen Ruppel-Shell, in her book called Cheap, puts it this way: in a market awash in increasingly similar, even identical goods, price is the ultimate arbiter. The lower, the better. To that point, I often wonder, is anybody paying full price today? Or one might argue, is there and what is even full price today? Has price turned into just a reference point, a mythical price, something to use to justify the discount and make it look like it's a deal too good to pass up? An inflated price makes a product more desirable and makes the actual price seem low by comparison. The real question is how long are consumers going to buy into that mythical price? The lust for low prices, the thrill of the deal, the limited time allure that puts pressure on us to act now are not the only things that we're going to be talking about in the new year. Of course, we're also going to talk about the next revolution in shopping, made up of the convergence of m-commerce, social networking, and geolocation technology, and the still very strong need for businesses to be, as we say, thoroughly reviewed, which remains, good or bad, a critical part of consumer expectations today. More and more as consumers, we buy based on what our fellow consumers are experiencing and telling us, not based on what companies are telling us. And we're also going to talk about a trend called online going offline, going online, meaning the blurring of the boundaries for the consumer between the two channels and how one is raising the bar for the other. By the way, product innovation, it's got to be your key strategy. When all else fails, product always wins. And of course, service is always being risen or taken to new heights. And how that bar for service keeps getting raised is also going to be a key part of our agenda, as well as more hot issues. As every year, we promise you an intense, fast-paced, and thought-provoking presentation to help you come up with your next concoction of hot products and services for your consumer in 2011 and beyond.
And talk about the next concoction, before we leave you, also another resolution for us for the second half of 2011. We are going to be launching a series of how-to retail short videos to help retailers get the retail knowledge and retail expertise that they need, fast, easy, and at a very low investment. How to develop a marketing plan, how much to buy, how to calculate open to buy, how to set price points. These are just a few of the many titles that will be featured part of this program. Stay tuned and we will tell you more about it in late 2011.
Well, in the meantime,
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
And thank you for trusting us to help grow your business.